So welcome everybody. Let's give it 1 minute. I do like to start in time. So just take a moment, listen to the bowls, becoming present in the room. Go ahead and pen myself. There we go for the recording. Welcome everybody. Terry and Hyman here. Some of you know me, some of you it's good to see you. Maybe you've been to my other workshops, but I'm very grateful for you taking this time. I am the host of the Empowered Spirit Show, my podcast, which I am very passionate about. This week, actually, I have a very great guest that really ties into what we're doing today. And he studied with Ralph Metzner. He was a psychologist who brings spirituality into his world, communicating with the invisible realm. And he talks about how we all can learn to do this. So this is exactly a great way to understand that. I'm also the host of a new TV show called Soul Messages on Ethereal TV Network. It is now live on Amazon Fire, Roku, and soon to be Apple. Actually, I think it is already on Apple. It's free right now, but it will be a streaming. It's with the Ethereal Network. I'm a spiritual mentor and a Reiki master teacher. My passion is to teach the tools that I have used to help me in my own life. So that is definitely my story. So today we're here to learn how to work with our timelines in the Akashic Record. So if you've joined me from my previous ones or you've watched the recordings, you know a couple of months ago we started with intuition. Learning how we process energy, very important, not only to know the clairs, the smelling, seeing, hearing, tasting, feeling, all of that, but to trust it. And then the next class we had was on the empath energy. So we have to know when we're pulling in everybody else's energy because otherwise we don't know where it's coming from. If we've got everybody's energy, it's very hard to trust our own. So that was the second class. And now today we're going to take all these tools and move into the Akashic realm and look at our timeline, look at those patterns and learn how we can work with them. Why is this important to me? Over the past, I would say 6 years, my life has been so switched, so changed by doing this work. Yes, I've trained. I was in New York. I learned all these tools, but I really wasn't applying them to any specific thing, but yet I was teaching Reiki and I was using them. But what I found after my mother died, I was with both my parents into life. I came back. I knew they were going to die, right? Death is what we talk about on the podcast this week. But I started feeling so much grief. And then I had a near-death experience. And like most people that have near-death experience, I didn't really know I had it. But when I came back into my body, it was like, you have to quit playing small. We're not done here. I was actually going to teach a Reiki class. I went ahead and taught the Reiki class, but I had no idea what had happened. And then right after that, the world shut down. The pandemic. I couldn't live my purpose. There were no classes. Nobody was showing up. And so my soul began to fracture a little bit, and all the grief of the world, the grief of the pandemic, the grief of my parents, and I went through a breakup personally and a romance, right? All of that was hitting me. And so it started to send me on a search, and I started finding deeper teachers. I went down to Costa Rica. I did some plant medicine. I worked with the shamans. I can't really say it gave me my answers, but it kept that search going. And then I found myself in Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is down in Mexico, sacred sites, and that was where I was guided to a new teacher. And we were in the sacred sites, and I came into this room, and for a few moments, I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt so good in so long. This joy, this light, I feel so good. And we're looking at the murals, and we're standing there, and I'm standing next to my teacher, Rita, and the murals are beautiful, and there's something that just jumps out at me. And I'm like, I guess they use the clay of the earth for the painting. And she's like, well, what do you think? And in myself, I heard, heck yeah, you lived here. You were one of the mystics. We were in this room where they brought the mystics to train. And that took me for a pause. Like, okay, I know I've heard that voice before. And so then we left and we're walking and then my energy went bam. And I'm like, what happened? Like I felt this joy, and now I'm feeling all this grief and this depression. Like, what happened? And we happened to stop under this beautiful pepper tree. And the very unusual, because it was both female and male. We're sitting under there. We're kind of catching up, and we're in like still that light of meditation. And I'm going in there, and I'm just crying and crying. And that's when I heard you died too young. This grief is part of your soul. You died too young. And so I kept walking. And we went into the Temple of the Jaguar, and there's this beautiful room where the butterflies, the light of the butterflies. My teacher's like, look at the light, look at the light. And all this light is coming in, and it's pushing all this energy forward for me. And we're coming out, and my teacher sees me. Rita sees me, and she sees the tears. She grabs me around my waist, and she says, pull it in. Whatever you're feeling, pull it into your womb. Breathe. Embody the energy. And so in that moment, I just felt it, and I knew I'd lived here, and I knew I'd been a mystic, and I knew I'd died too soon. And I opened my eyes, and all I could see was the auras of the pyramids all around. Now, there was no plant medicine here. None. It's not done. This is not part of the culture in Mexico, in the area we were at. So it was just me. And I'm seeing orbs, I'm seeing strobes, I'm seeing color, I'm seeing things. And I feel this energy wash over me. Now, the beautiful thing is as I'm recognizing and processing, and we're back at, in group talking about it, I did come to the realization this is what that attachment was. This is that part of my soul that had attached to the grief that was represented in my present life, depression, not being able to move forward, not being able to get out there in the world, and everything lifted. So then I come home, still feeling good. The depression was gone. The grief was gone. I was back doing my work. The world was starting to open up again, and I was starting to find the ability to speak up, stand up, and feel better. It wasn't the end of the story, because I was guided to go there again. It wasn't totally finished. So I went back into that energy. I went back to Teotihuacan. Had some more amazing meditations. We do in Toltec, and Toltec is down in Teotihuacan. Is a lot of dreaming time, which is very similar to the way we do meditation in the Akashic realm, dreaming and opening up our spirit and our soul. And this time I went back to the mystic. I wanted to know more about her. And so I went back into that energy, back into that feeling. And what I had discovered was that mystic, that soul that had lived there and had died too young, she died in childbirth. And the person I had been with was a soulmate for me that had showed up in this lifetime as my ex-husband now. That was huge. And in this lifetime with my ex-husband, we did lose a baby. I didn't die in this lifetime, but our marriage did separate. So that healing of the soul energy was so important, because it made me realize that's why this love was so intense in that lifetime, brought it forward in this lifetime. But this lifetime, there was so much dysfunction. There was all of this narcissist energy and me giving over my power. So I was able to start healing that and working with that energy and continue to recognize this is soul energy. Now, I will tell you this, just recently, maybe I'm a new grandmother. My daughter had a baby. I stepped in the Mimi shoes. I was out there visiting her. It's amazing. And then, of course, it's now the dad's turn to come visit. So here I am back home, and my dander gets up a little bit like, oh, the dad's got to go visit with the girlfriend, right? Okay. And like, okay, Terry, that's a past life. That's a past life. And then I'm watching The Voice. And in The Voice, on one of the battles, a song from the album Crowded House came on. I hear that song, and as many of us know, songs and sound is held Olympic, helps us having those memories comes up. And here I am back in Port Washington. I'm driving along the coast, the sunset, because it was this time of year, and I'm going all the way into that energy. Now, the choice becomes, as I pause and notice, I can go into the energy filled, poor me, my life, what he did, he cheated, or I can choose to recognize that love I had for this person was another lifetime, and I don't need to go there. Or I could do both. I had to go listen to the songs. I had to go down there, but I chose not to be in that energy. Why carry that? And so through the recognition, through that just a little bit of loving myself and allowing myself to say, this is another lifetime, tapping, this is another lifetime, be present. I didn't go there anymore. And it starts to break up those patterns. So it does repeat. We're human. It does repeat. So this is my why. And I will say my story has been published alongside Freddie Silva in his book, Portals, Energetic Doorways to Mystical Experiences. So you can find it there as well. So it is, for me, proof that this works, that we can take what we've learned with all of our spiritual tools, pull it together, work with that quantum energy of being past, present, future. So that is really my why for helping you to understand. I work with this with my private mentoring, helping us to break patterns. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to use all of our tools. We're going to go into the Akashic realm. We're going to isolate one thing. All right, this is just one exercise today because there are many. We're going to look at the different patterns, help you uncover that, and start to see how you can begin to use this to break those cycles for yourself. All right, so that's our outline for today. Hopefully you've got the workbook. Before we begin and jump right in, share slides and all of that, let's take a moment to do what I call tuning in, spirit to spirit, bringing all of our energies together, setting the space for this work. So if you can, just close your eyes for a few moments. Exhaling all the way down, everything that it took to get you here today, just centering, aligning. Taking another deep inhale, breathing up the body. And as you exhale, call all your energy into you. Call it in, centering. Inhale, taking another deep breath up the body. And as you exhale, pull the belly in, pull the navel in, begin to align your energy all around you. Calling in the spiritual body to align right on top of the emotional, mental, physical layers, all centering. Inhale, take another deep breath up the body. And as you exhale, dropping into the heart, right into the deepest part of your heart, feel that connection, your spirit and the greater spirit, source, creator, God. Know that you are loved, guided, protected. Feeling all this energy coming in around us as we go to set this sacred space. Let us call in our Reiki master teachers. Let us call in those that have come before us to give us that wisdom. Calling in the angels to open the heart with joy and love. Calling in the crystal beings for amusement, magnification all around us. And now call in your higher self right above the crown to help receive these messages for your soul, your journey. Taking another deep inhale and exhale, setting an intention for the class for you today. And allow that to radiate out all around you, setting that energy right from the heart. Taking another deep breath up the body, opening up that radiance, that vertical channel of light, all the way back down, deep into the earth. Let's do another breath from the heart, opening the aura, bringing it all the way back in. One more up the body. And now exhale right back into the heart. Feel yourself in the heart, grounding with this light. Bringing the awareness back. Coming back. Opening the eyes. All right, so as we go to join all of our energies today, we're going to look at what we're here for today. We ask the question, the present moment, are you truly living? Do you feel like you're living the same day over and over again, just different details? Do you feel those reoccurring patterns in your relationships? Always attracting the wrong person. Hello. Your career, always being oversought or not being visible, or somebody else getting the job, not you. Or even just a sense of sadness like I was feeling that just can't seem to let go or be explained. So this feeling of being stuck, of being tethered, is like an invisible weight. And it is a common human experience. Some people describe it as being in their own prison. So it often stems from a misalignment between who you are at your soul level and who you are in this 3D world, this physical world we live in. So the journey of the soul is not about what you've accomplished, but more about that authentic expression of your innermost self. That's why we tune in. That's why we tap in. We want to bring that forward. And when it's stifled, though, when you can't feel that sense of purpose, that unfulfillment, like I was saying, I couldn't do my work, the world had shut down, it starts to affect everything about you. Now, it doesn't always have to be a pandemic that creates that. But our soul journey is what we want to look at. Just like we talk about on the podcast this week, what are we really here for? When we can tap into that journey of our soul, we can unlock that joyful moment of who we are. We can unlock that depth. And what if the answers you seek are waiting for you in the echoes of your past? Not just this lifetime, but the entire vast history of your soul's journey. What if? That's why I like to work in the Akashic realm. It's a collective of consciousness of all thoughts, actions, emotions, and experiences that ever occurred. Now, I used to say here on Earth, but I've been studying these last 2 years on the galactic. It's all civilizations, all lifetimes, all star people, all realities. It's your database. It's where your soul holds this information. We can't remember it. When we incarnate, we come in through what we call the zones. And there's a part where it comes in, ninth chakra holds our purpose. And it's not like it's in English. It's like in sound and color and light and symbols. And then it moves through the the eighth chakra, which is all the wisdom of the lifetimes. Then it moves through the seventh and into the body, but it's erased. Yet the body holds memories and feelings and impressions. So when we work in the Akashic realm, this is why I love it, because we use discernment. We take away all judgment of the soul. Why would we judge our soul? It's simply here to learn and experience. We offer forgiveness with gratitude. We lift the vibration because what we want to do is receive the lessons. That's where the wisdom is. We don't want to hold on to judging our soul for what we've done. We want to open up with gratitude to receive the lessons and the wisdom that have come forward. So now just asking yourself, are you in a time loop? A time loop is an energetic pattern that repeats across past, present, and even the future. Are you in one? So the way that we begin to break this down and look at it is we start with the present moment, the behavior, the habits, the patterns that you are aware of right here in our human form that keeps repeating. Then we're going to look at what is the past energy that your current story keeps building upon. So I'm a teacher of EFT, practitioner. And when we talk about the neuroscience and the EFT, what happens is our intellect, our ego, remembers everything, just like all that grief that kept attaching to my soul. So it remembers it. You were bullied in grade school. I was bullied. I admit I have a new book coming out about emotional eating. I was bullied on the playground. So anytime anybody says anything about my weight or touches my stomach, it's like, whoa, there's that little kid, until we break the pattern. Maybe that's one for you. So how can you bring this awareness forward to break the energy so that you can set your future in a new direction? Part of what we're going to talk about is the after work that we do in the Akashic Record. How can you continue to integrate this? So we do set the intention for finding what that is. So now in the workbook, I think on page 3, here's some questions that you can look at. So take a moment, we'll go through them. Check which one resonates with you. Attracting the same type of people or situation. Do you feel like you're reliving the same story, different characters? And sometimes you can even predict, can you do that? How it's going to end before they do. Yeah, this relationship isn't going to go anywhere, yet you stay in it. You've tried to change, but find yourself back in the familiar pattern. This is a big one. You feel stuck despite extensive personal work, therapy, coaching, workshops. Just doesn't work. Can't seem to do it. You recognize a pattern, but it won't break. You feel like something invisible is pulling you back. You've had this pattern for years or even decades. People close to you, they see the pattern, but you don't want to see it. You feel frustrated or hopeless that it's never going to change. It shows up in multiple areas of your life. The grief was showing up everywhere for me. You've made progress, but then relapse into that old pattern. So how many of these can you resonate with? Did you check off? 3 or more, you're likely in that time loop. But it's not your fault. You're caught. You don't know. Really, if we knew, it'd be so much easier. So now what we want to do is look at 3 types of patterns. Personal patterns. This is your current lifetime, your childhood experiences, trauma, or decisions made in moments of pain. So like for me, I had a lot, well, actually, I'll tell you, I mean, it's a little vulnerable here, but that bullying and emotional eating, it came from even earlier in my childhood and my family dysfunction. So that I had to go back and look and went back into it. So trust issues from specific betrayal. All right, I have trust issues on abandonment. I've had to work with that. That's how I broke that energy in the Akashic realm. All right, fear of being abandoned from childhood neglect. All right, I had some childhood abuse from my brother. That has surfaced. People pleasing. Learning from family dynamics. Self-sabotage from past failures. So these are some of the personal patterns. See if you can relate to any of those. You can make a note in your workbook. Then we're going to look at generational patterns. Done a lot of work this year with that myself. Yes, I have my teachers too. Passed down through your family line, trauma, beliefs, and emotional patterns inherited from ancestors. Scarcity around money, difficulty expressing your emotions, beliefs about what's possible, patterns of addiction, relationship dynamics across generations. For me, this one was visibility. Even though I'm like, I want to get visible, I want to do this work, I wasn't getting visible, people weren't showing up, right? And so this, for me, as I look deeper and deeper, comes from that lineage I carry from the Ashkenazic European part of me. It's like, don't let anybody know you're Jewish. Keep your head down. We had that struggle to leave. My family's ancestors came from Russia. And so part of it was, being raised in the South, like, don't tell anybody, but yet I want to be visible. So until I could understand that and break that pattern, it was going to keep happening and keep being reattracted. But once I recognized it through my generations and continued to work with it, it starts to release. It starts to let go. I can show up. It is safe. I am safe. So what is it for you? Is there a generational pattern? And then these past life patterns, soul level agreements, vows, unhealed wounds from previous lifetimes. I see this a lot. I tend to attract people that have the witch wound. And so they vowed at the last moments of life, they'd never do this again. They would not. They were being caught. They were being hung. They were being burned. And so that witch wound becomes really important. And that's a past life. I had a client who came to me. She was doing the private mentoring. She wanted to do this work. And every time she would self-sabotage right before she got there. So we went back into a past lifetime. And one of it was when we saw her, she was like an innkeeper and she worked with herbs. And she was having all these things she would make up. And somebody came in and they gave the herbs. Long story short, the wife died. And she got blamed and the town came to her. And so she vowed never to do it, nor did she ever journal and write down her recipes. Once we broke that pattern, she was able to move forward. She was able to start putting her work out. And now I'll say she's got a podcast. She works with herbs. She does sound healing. So we can break the patterns when we recognize what they are and then work with our future energy to keep showing up in the present as to how we are. Now, sometimes it can be a combination. So just take a moment, think about the pattern, just choose one for today. We have to start each little vibration at a time, like step by step, right? Find one that you think you're ready to work with. It can be a combination, but if this is new to you, I would say start with just one. What is that specific event or moment that represents this pattern for you? Make a note about it. When we start to identify this, you take that first step forward. Yes, you do start the healing process. You do start to bring it into your conscious awareness, and that is definitely where the transformation begins. And what we do is we work in this channel of light. We work in those upper chakras through the higher self, moving out of 3D. We want to move beyond the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is kind of where we get squashed. Those are the judgments, the religion, the archetypal energy that squashes us, that keeps us from reaching up. But we can, through our breath, through going in deeper and deeper, move into the higher realms, which is where we find the work in the Akashic realm. So jot it down, bring that awareness. All right? Think about the pattern. Describe what it was for you right here in the present time. What pattern does this event represent? Maybe it's like for me, like the overeating. The pattern represents when I get emotional, I stuff my face. So that's how I'm showing up in like not feeling good about myself, not trusting my confidence. I'm going to eat, 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 eat. What is it for you? The feeling is very important. What emotion did you experience? We're going to do this in exercise in a minute, but I want to give you the background. We need to start to break it down. Shame, fear, unworthiness, abandonment, rejection, powerless, not being enough. And then what did you decide about yourself in this lifetime, in this present moment? I'm not safe. I'm not worthy. I have to do everything myself. I must just go ahead and hide. That's what we want to start to work with. And we're going to do this through our energetic library. We want to get out of the mind. We want to move into that intuitive part of us. That's where we're going to use all of our skills. And we're going to access our records. Now, when we start, I'm going to guide you through. We're going to start, excuse me, by accessing it first in this lifetime. And we're going to keep moving back. And maybe you're going to go into a past. But we first start going further and further back. Sometimes we don't recognize where those patterns are, but yet unconsciously in our subconscious mind, we do. We're going to look for the origin. We're going to look for what we need to understand and any other insights, images, or messages coming in. And this is how we're going to do it. Seeing, hearing, knowing, feeling, smell, taste, all the clairs. So we're going to start by going back into a meditation. We're going to go deep within. We're going to open up, and I'm going to guide you through using these questions as the first step. All right? Any questions? Put them in the chat. All right. I'm going to have you close your eyes again. We're going to start by breathing. When we work in the Akashic realm, we do work with what I call keys to access your records. And I'm going to do a general opening for everybody to access your records. And there's going to be a part where I say, state your name. So just state your name to yourself. I like to use the birth name. I like to show up in this lifetime as we go to start. So your birth name is what you want to use. Taking a nice deep inhale. And exhale. So you open up to this higher realm of possibility. Inhale, expanding the belly, the side ribs, the chest opens. And as you exhale, pull the belly in, pull the navel in, release the breath all the way down, deep into the earth. Inhale, pulling all the way up through the earth, up through that 10th chakra, generational energy, up through the body, up through the crown, up into the higher realms, higher self. And as you exhale, call in absolute light, streams of grace to start working with your energy, opening you up, opening up this radiant light channel, the Kundalini Shishana channel, all the same thing. Inhale, expanding the breath up the body. Exhale all the way down, deep into the earth. And again, inhale, see yourself moving through this channel of light deeper and deeper. Each breath we take, deeper and deeper. Taking another deep inhale, 5. Feel yourself going deeper. And again, inhaling 4. As you release the breath, opening up deeper and deeper. Taking another deep inhale, 3. Coming into the heart, deeper and deeper. Taking another deep breath, 2. Opening up, going deeper and deeper into your soul, into these higher realms of consciousness. 1. Deeper and deeper. Imagine, pretend, visualize now you're traveling through this tunnel of light, up into the higher realms, activating the light body as you move deeper and deeper into this higher realm. As you begin to move through these veil of roses, helping us to access this information, We call upon the keys to access our records in honor of a greater good and greater wisdom. Today, we ask permission to enter our records. State your name to yourself, your full name showing up. And now we ask to bow in reverence to Mother Earth, to the fire, the rain, the wind, recognizing that as we let go of old beliefs, we create space to change what we see in our experiences. Bowing in reverence to the forces of nature, to the universe and all of its possibilities, bowing to everything and everyone who has contributed to your story. Honoring your bravery, honoring your trajectory, honoring your choices, knowing there are no wrong choices, just experiences that are here to shape our beliefs and allow for growth. Feeling that unconditional love in your heart, your head in the present time, and the opportunity and the idea of being this beautiful channel of love and light to access your records, we ask permission to enter. Allowing the records to be opened, allowing the records to be opened, allowing the records to be opened, noticing and feeling and sensing yourself now, moving into this beautiful galaxy of energy, your library. Take a moment and just notice how it appears for you. Can you sense the energy? Can you see the books? Can you see this beautiful galaxy of light? As we find ourselves in this presence of energy, we call in our guides, our higher self, the guardians of our records, to help us understand what this pattern is. And we ask, show us more about this. And now see yourself in this beautiful energy, your light, your soul. And we begin to ask to show us the imprint, where this comes from. And now imagine, pretend, visualize yourself walking down this hallway, deeper and deeper, down this hallway, following the energy guiding you. Lots of rooms, lots of books, lots of library energies. All of this, your soul has been through, and see yourself going deeper and deeper and deeper, passing by doors and doors down this hallway until you find yourself stopping. Asking, show me what this imprint is, my first recollection of it. And now notice. Notice how you feel. Notice what you see. Let it play out. Watch, observe, no judgment. What are you noticing coming forward for you? How old are you? Where are you? Let it unfold. Noticing those emotions. How is this feeling? How far back does this take you? Is it this lifetime? Is it another lifetime? Bring that energy in. Embody how you are feeling. And breathe. Offer the gratitude for what's showing up. Notice. And now gathering up this energy, thanking the guards, the guides, all of the energy coming forward. And let's go a little deeper. See yourself walking out of this room, going down the hallway, going deeper and deeper, further back in time, further back in time. Allow yourself to travel as far back as you can. Finding another door, seeing yourself right there, opening up this doorway. This portal of energy, what do you notice? Hanshin sei shonen, hanshin sei shonen, hanshin sei shonen. Sending that energy all the way back through time and space now. Opening up this energy. Using our Reiki tools. Releasing what's coming forward. Seheki, seheki, seheki. So that you can release any judgment. What do you notice? What is that similarity between that past, the first door we went into, and the present? What is it? Notice. Just experience without any judgment. Ask to be shown more. You can always ask for more information. Take another few moments. Notice, maybe it shows up as color, sound, light, feelings, emotions. Pay attention to the emotions. Embody them, bring them forward. Now we're going to take all of this energy. We're going to start to come back through that hallway, back down, back down. See yourself being guided back into that space, that original galley where you are with your Akashic records, where you see all of this library. And I want you to be right here, right now. Now, no judgment on your soul. What did you uncover? Offer gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for showing me this. We work with the Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I'm sorry we experienced this. Please forgive me. I love you for showing me this. Gratitude lifts that vibration so we can look at it from a witnessing state of mind, not getting in and judge it, but and maybe you already knew this. It was that bullying. It was the way my mother treated me. It was the abandonment of my father. Whatever it may be for you, bring it forward right here around you and just offer that love. Right here at the collarbone, you can even tap right here. Thank you for showing me this. I recognize this as a past behavior. Thank you. I love you. Write to yourself, I love you. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Feel that coming forward for you. Calling in the angels to surround us with their love. Sending a little Reiki out to the heart. Noticing the emotions and allowing them, the hard ones, the ones that have kept you trapped, to start to dissipate. Noticing what you notice. Taking another deep inhale. Exhale. Starting to gather all this energy up. Thanking the guardians and the guides one more time for showing you this beautiful light about your soul, your journey. We're going to take a little pause. We're going to come back down. We're going to gather this up. We're going to start to bring our awareness back down through the veils. Back down, coming back, settling back in. Now just taking a moment. Whatever came forward, take a moment, write it down. We always think we'll remember and we don't. So go ahead and write it down because there's more. There's more to this work than just this. I love doing Akashic readings, and I think it's always a great place to start, but it doesn't end there. We do uncover information. So what did you sense? What did you feel? How did it show up for you? How did the guardian show up? How did the room look? Mine's a combination of the galaxy and books and hallways. Those golden brown, golden light colors. And now when you asked what is the origin, what was received? When you went into that first room, what did you feel, notice, hear? Trust whatever shows up. Maybe it doesn't make sense today. That is okay. Even if it doesn't make sense, the meaning will become clear and clear. The more you go back into this, yes, you'll get this recording. Yes, you can go back into it. Now, see a couple of you still writing. If anybody wants to share anything in the chat, please do. Now, here's the thing. When we come back into our humanness, there's duality. We start judging everything. Oh, I made that up. It's not real. It's not true. And so then we just kind of negate everything we've just experienced. So what we want to do is we want to have this pattern interrupt. We want to use the ability, just like I was talking about when I heard that song and I went into it, I had to stop. I had to interrupt it so that I could work with it. The pattern interrupt is a way to catch the pattern in the moment. It's happening so you can choose differently. And this is where I see many of my students, many of my clients, they just like give up. Here it is again. I knew I didn't heal it. No. This is when we want to pause. And we want to presence that energy, just like I did the other night. I want to pause, present. Okay, here it is again. Do I want to go in it? Or do I want to recognize through my Akashic understanding what is going on? Then I can understand it. And then I can select a new response. That I can embody the energy, and then I use my tools. I talk about the rites, Reiki, intuition, tarot, EFT, stones and crystals. All of those have an important part of doing this method, of really allowing yourself to offer gratitude. Just like I said that, okay, here it is again. I can choose to go down that road and feel sorry for Terry. Or I can recognize I had this beautiful soul energy in this lifetime. It was not a functional relationship, and I choose to be present and strong in my energy, my power. That relationship had narcissists all over it. I was the empath. I was so lost in myself. No, I can show up. And that is the important part of it. How many times have you done that? How many times have you given up because here it is again? We always think, oh, I've done the healing. Oh, why is this showing up? It must not have worked. Not true. Neuroscience teaches us we have to keep working with that new pathway. We have to keep reprogramming it. So all the times I recognize that, no, then I go, no, I'm right here, right now. I'm present in my energy. I can do this. I can show up. I don't have to be jealous. I don't have to lose my power. I can be present to who I am. I'm a new Mimi. And then it lifts the vibration, and we start creating that new pattern. The more you interrupt that pattern, the more you offer gratitude. That's why tapping and Ho'oponopono techniques, sending a little Reiki to your heart, all of it is so important. So then you can keep building those new neural pathways to show up. Now, in the beginning, it can be a little difficult. You might forget, but that's why it's really important to practice. That's why the after part of uncovering this is so important. Because the next time this pattern shows up, and it will, now you have the tools to catch it. Now you have the tools to use the gratitude to open up to what it is for you. Take a little pause here. How are you feeling? Does this make sense? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. What have you uncovered today? All right, I got a few thumbs up. How many times do you do that? Here it comes again. It must not have worked. Maybe even here it is again. I don't trust my intuition. That's why it's so important to learn to trust your intuition and know what's energy is yours and what it's not. At first, it may seem like you're doing it 15 times a day, and you might. It's like that old, remember they used to say, like, put a rubber band on you, and every time you go to the habit, pop the rubber band? Same idea. You can do that. You can put a rubber band on you, and every time you remember, then it just at least tap. Or use the Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono is an amazing tool to help break this. And the quicker you catch yourself, the quicker you're going to build those new neural pathways. The tendency for the ego, the intellect, let's use that word if you need to, is to go back to your other pattern, your other habits. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope that you can see that. Now, this is just one example. So the journey, the past is not a prison, but a library of wisdom. The present is the point of power where we apply this wisdom to heal and transform. And the future is an open canvas for you to create a life of joy, purpose, and freedom. Be the artist of your spirit. That's a Toltec wisdom. Be the artist of your spirit. Be creative. Be in the flow. You get to create it. You do have the power to break the cycles, heal your past, and create a future that is aligned with the reflection of you and your soul. So that's where we have to have this commitment to ourselves. Take action this week. Practice the pause. Continue connecting with your records. Go back through the recording. Go in. Ask new questions. I do have this new class coming up. Now, I have changed what I'm doing with this because originally I was just teaching you how to read the records. But in this class, we're really going to focus on these timelines. We're going to use the school. We're going to learn the tools, use our skills. We're going to talk about more of the Ho'oponopono, what it's about. We're going to talk about tapping. I've written a book, Confessions of a Shower Tapper. I'm going to get into all of these tools and techniques that help you. We're going to look at the vibrations of the angels. We're going to look at our galactic angels too, our galactic guides as well. So here's what we're going to do throughout the course. We're going to do our healing guides. We're going to tap into these timeline readings, which will be the focus of the program this year. Soul readings, past life wisdom, ancestral imprints. That's really big. And I will say our ancestral energies, they do weave in with past life. So it can be a little convoluted, complex. That's why having a guide, someone like me that can help you, learn to trust your intuition. This is all going to help you trust better. You're going to be able to create your own reading space. Breath and meditation is highly recommended. We'll be doing that. Having the keys to access your records, soul contracts, and we're using all of the spiritual tools that I've talked about. So I do have private mentoring for this as well as a group. Here's the cost, here are the payments, 6 sessions, one-on-one with me for private mentoring that goes along with the group, or you can do a group. Now, for those of you that know me for showing up for my classes, I'm doing this very special bonus holiday promo. I'm only doing this up until Thanksgiving. I'm not doing a Black Friday. I'm going to be offline on Black Friday. So this is a holiday 2025. You'll see me advertise the class, but I won't be advertising. This is my biggest promotion. I'll be offering others, but you will also get the promos to that. So you have 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks to decide about this. One payment for the private mentoring half. If you pay in full is $759. If you pay in 3 payments, you'll get the 40% off the first one. The other ones will be full. My incentive is to get you, go ahead, sign up, get it paid for. We start in January. I will be doing some online stuff in December to keep you engaged. The group program is $499 today, $299.40. Or you can do the 3 payments. Again, if you do the payments, you'll get that discount off the first payment. So if you know me, my sessions are much more, especially those one-on-one. Those are $200 sessions. You're getting them for a lot less. Highly recommended if you want to go deeper and deeper and really learn this. I will be offering to those that sign up a class on working with getting more in touch with your guardians, your Reiki guides, your angels, and your galactic guides and higher self. That'll be in December for those that have signed up. And there'll be other bonuses coming forward that you will also get into once you sign up. Not sure? Schedule a complimentary spiritual call with me. Let's talk about it. See if this class is for you because I want you to be able to do the work. Those are free. I'll put the links in my follow-up email. Go ahead and schedule with me. And if not, that's okay. I love you. Anyway, check me out on my show. Here's my new logo for Soul Messages. This is my new set. I have a producer. They've helped me create this. Here's my book. You can find it online. And then you can also connect with me through social media. I'm always putting something out there. And then I do have a private mentoring, my full private mentoring program as well. So, final thoughts. You're not broken. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just caught in energetic patterns that have been running for a long time. They don't define you. They're simply running in a field that you can work with. Your life can be free from these patterns. You can find the joy, the depth of your own soul. Learn the lessons. Bring the wisdom forward. Your work is to access that timeline and bring it into your present reality. You are more powerful than you know. So Marianne Williamson says, who are you not to shine your light? You're capable of breaking free. Healing is not linear. So we celebrate every small shift, every moment of awareness, every different choice. So bring this in, take a moment. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to stay on a few minutes. I hope this was helpful. It can be complicated. I know I've had past lives that run through that generational energy of mine. I uncovered a really deep one this January, really big. And it's still something I haven't been able to share because that is how deep it went. It runs through that Ashkenazic energy. It has to do with the Holocaust. And then in one of my classes, working in the galactic, I saw I was a psychopump. Do y'all know that term, psychopump? Where you help souls evolve And that helped to free so much of that energy. And in this lifetime, presently, right now in my community, I prepare women for ceremonial death. I prepare them for the burial. And so it is the alignment that comes forward. I would love for you to be in the class. We start in January, but I am offering this opportunity to go ahead and get signed up. Take the bonus. Start the new year in a way that is deep. It helps you to do your year differently. Winter, this is why I do this in winter. I don't think I mentioned it because winter is when our soul is deepest. We do access our higher wisdom. We do access the wisdom of our ancestors. And that is when I do my deepest work as well. Then I got all year to work on it. But it is a great time to do this work. So thank you all so much for joining me. I will send out the replay. I'll send all the links. Schedule a call. I love to talk to people. All right, I'd love to. See if this class is for you. It can make a difference. So as we go to close, let's take a moment. I always like to close and separate out our energies. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale, coming right back into your heart, right into that deepest part of your heart. Taking another moment and just offering that love for your soul, your journey. All the many lifetimes you've lived, all the wisdom you can bring through, and how you can show up present to who you truly are. Inhaling and exhaling all the way down. And we go to separate out our energies and just imagine this beautiful crystal ball right above your head. And in that crystal ball, see your name in red and imagine reaching up and bringing down all this fresh, absolute light, streams of grace moving all the way through you, filling in any holes that may have been left open from releasing energy, fresh light, fresh energy to show up whole right here in the present time. We seal all of this in, Shokure, 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 all for the highest good. Separating out, your energy's yours, mine is mine. We each come right back into our own energy body. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling yourself grounding, taking this awareness with you. Notice what you notice from this. Thank you again. To your spirit. Namaste.